excellent and successful in our work and help us build up our community. In Jesus' name, amen. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Margaret is down in French Lick right now, so she's enjoying her. She's at a conference. So I am the clerk treasurer and the mayor tonight. So I'm just going to do roll call. And Corey Roberts.
Here.
Gary Cagle.
Here.
Michael Smith.
Here.
John Morgan.
Here.
Travis Sills.
Here.
And I'm here. And Margaret is not. So, all right. And we have the agenda in front of us. Jessica Talber would also like to speak, so she'll be added at the bottom as well of page 1, and it's on both sides of the paper. We have a motion to approve the agenda as shown.
I'll make him.
Okay, all right, okay. John motions.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
He's bigger.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and we have the minutes in front of us as well. We have a motion to approve the minutes as shown.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as shown.
Okay,
I'll second.
Okay, Corey motions, Gary seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And old business, just kind of catch you up on what's going on. We talked about feral cats last meeting in TNR. I was all ready to go, actually put it on Facebook, and then I realized I probably need an attorney forum. So I did get some good volunteers, which is great. I'm really happy about that. The attorney just sent me that, which is, you've all got copies of that. So basically, if it's a indemnity form for the city, basically. So if we have volunteers, and we'll should be able to get this program going here shortly. So sidewalk street project is almost done. It's I think all the paving's done, all the sidewalks are done. We have to come back and do some repairs, some more concrete repairs. There's still some touch-ups to do, and then the landscaping needs to be done. They all around all the sidewalks and everything, but that's come along real well. We're going to probably go for another round of that next year. Actually, they sweetened the deal because this year they paid 75% of the project. Next year, if we get the grant, they pay 80%. So I know that's a good deal for us. So we need to go for another big round again, and we have so many streets that need it. So yeah, we're gonna go again, and so Main Street zone repair. Do you want to talk about that, or you may just say something, Chris, or do you?
I'm sorry.
Oh, the Main Street
Speed zones.
No, go right ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, Chris had looked up that we actually have to do some studies, speed zone, before we can actually, before we're allowed to lower the speed limit. So, and then I think it has to go through that. Does that pass the state, right?
If you want, Mayor, I can step up there.
Okay, all right. We can make sure our microphone's on too, because I don't know that we turned that one on.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, just a quick update on that. So I had reached out to the County Highway Commissioner, John Plumer, about who we'd have to talk to about getting permission to put signs and so on beyond the city limits to let everyone know that we were going to, lower the speed, or the speed limit would be lowered. And he mentioned that we may need to get a hold of some folks over at LTAP, which is a program through the Purdue University that's, I believe, and Dave, you might be able to help me with this, state dollars, I believe, pay for that program. So I reached out to Laura Schleserover, who was the engineer that I spoke with, and she said that because of the parameters we were working with, that we needed to probably do a couple of speed studies and traffic studies in a couple of the zones, one of which was 630 North to Chestnut Street. The other one was going to be from Monroe Street down to Windsor Street, where we were looking to drop it down to 20 mile an hour. And the only reason we needed to do that one in particular was because we were going to go below 25 to 20 mile an hour. if we'd have kept it at 25, we wouldn't have had to do the speed study. But I conferred with the mayor a little bit. We talked a little bit about this, and I believe because it's going through the downtown business district that it is beneficial from a safety perspective and standpoint to go ahead and lower that to 20. So that brought us into getting the speed studies done, of which the sensors were just put in last Friday. So that study period, I believe, is for a week. They'll collect the sensors, review the data, and make their recommendations on the speed limit that we're proposing. The section at 630 North, we've got kind of an anomaly there because during the period of annexation, when the city annexed out to 630 North, half of the road is on the city's road inventory, half of the road is on the county's road inventory. So the section that comes into town is on the county's road inventory, and the section that goes out is on the city. So in talking with the city attorney on that, he believes there was some legislation to address that issue several years ago that may impact the way the annexation was done at that time. He said there may need to be a correction to put both lanes into the city as the city's annexation was out to the county line out there. And he said that was one of the things that legislature did probably 30 years ago, just because they did not like the idea of splitting up roads during an annexation. They thought that somebody should take full accountability for both sections of it. So that's kind of where that sets out right now. The traffic study is being conducted. Once that's done, I would hope by the next meeting that we'll have the recommendations from LTAP on that. And the nice thing about the studies, no charge to the city to do that, again, because it was sponsored by the state through Purdue University. So all of that work and recommendation is being done at no charge or cost to the city.
Very good. Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
And we've got to say that we're thankful that you, Chief Snyder had the bad accident on Thursday. And
You just had to
thankful
go
that-
there, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm grateful for all the people that reached out and asked about the Crown Vics, but next time if you would ask how I'm doing first, I would appreciate it. So the Crown Vic is fine.
I know.
It did escape death's clutches this time, so, but yeah, I'm well. Thank you for everybody that reached out. So.
The car probably would have bounced off the Crown Vic. I mean, that other car.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness, I was told because that Crown Vic is a full-frame automobile that the outcome could have been different for the person who struck me in the back end.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's a lot
It
more
would have been-
solid, lot more solid structure to work against.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's still we've got the initial report, it's still under investigation. We're going to be waiting for some data to come in on that, but otherwise, I'm just glad to be standing before you right now.
Yes.
Nothing but by the grace of God that I am here, because it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
Great. Thank you.
But I thank you guys. You guys have any questions about the speed information that I presented to you? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
All right. Well, we have a few people who would like to speak to us. Dennis Lehman, first off. Yep.
I carry these up here, but I'm gonna leave them. These are the petitions still I carry around.
Okay. All right. All right.
And that's from the people out here in the county, First City.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I want to thank everybody. Chris? Glad you're okay. I heard about that night,
Yeah.
and it was a horrific crash, and
Yeah.
I heard it from my house, so.
Yeah.
I'm Dennis Lehman. I'm here about that sewer district again. I know I brought that up at your last meeting. There's 800 and some signatures in there, people against it, the people that you work for. Just remember that. I hope that you guys are all thinking about that, and I hope one of these days you make a motion to say no on that, since the public doesn't want it. Because basically, if that comes, and they pipe this into your system, and you can go read all about this at the library, there's a big booklet on that. They can bring that into your system, and if it needs updated, go tell your people in town that they're gonna have to update it and up their bills too. So, I just want to say that, so something to think about. I'd like to see a motion on that one time here about a no on that, because the public out here doesn't want it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis.
All right. Chris Earhart. Might I say that right?
You said it right.
Okay. All right.
All right, am I ready?
You're right.
We never know until I know that. All right, my name's Chris Earhart. I'm the supervisor of Blackford County IRACS, and that stands for Integrated Reentry and Correctional Support. I work with a team of peer recovery coaches that go into the jail and just kind of help everybody where they're at. So there's a little project that Allie put together when we went before the county council. I got one without staples in it because, you know, I work in a jail. You can't have staples. But I stapled your guys's.
Yeah.
So basically, what we do is we're targeting individuals that are affected by substance use disorder and mental health challenges. I myself am in recovery. I'm in long-term recovery. 1,145 days today, and I've actually been locked up in the Blackford County Jail a couple times. But that's why I connect with the individuals so well. So we lead peer support teams. Like I said, we have a whole team of peer recovery coaches that go in and help the guys and the gals. If we can get them into rehab, or we run matrix groups, we do one-on-one engagements, and we make recovery plans to help them for when they get out, because our goal is for them not to come back to jail. Like I said, Allie made this, so I'm just kind of going like this with it. Sorry, Kimber. Executive director's here. But there's a supervisor, there's a forensic peer or engagement coordinator. That's somebody that goes in and runs groups. We run RAP groups, which is Wellness Action Recovery Plan. Wellness.
Recovery action.
What Kimber said. And we do the forensic peer also does one-on-ones. We have a navigation judicial peer that we have somebody that goes in the court with all the participants. The program is voluntary. You don't have to be in IRACs. You can choose to not partake. But we have a judicial peer that if you're going to court, you know, we'll go in there and sit with you and can't do much, but we can help navigate. Then we have a reentry peer. What we do is we follow somebody for after they get out of jail for 30 days. And we're getting ready to hire a community peer that's only for Blackford County. So we'll have somebody that's in there, because a lot of times we'll have probation officers call and, Chris, get this person into rehab. And I'm not supposed to, but I just clock out real quick and then I'll do it. Then there's job descriptions. The goals of IRACs is to reduce recidivism. That's the whole name of the game. We want to enhance recovery engagement. That means we want to see our participants come out and help be productive members of society. That's our goal. And we want to decrease stigma. Like I said, I myself had a 30-year storm, and I made it out the other side. And I'm just trying to help people do the exact same thing. Now, this was back in May. This report's from May, but at that time we'd helped 703 total participants, 3,601 brief check-in sessions, 277 care coordination sessions, 413 recovery planning sessions, 21 individuals were released from jail to treatment, and at that time we had ran a total of 226 matrix/RAP groups, and we helped. There were 139 people that were in a matrix or RAP group. Matrix model is evidence-based for criminal justice settings is our specific. We take them through and they have a cool graduation. But the recidivism rate for those who have been impacted by the program since 2022 is 15.6%. The 2024 state of Indiana recidivism rate was 38.2%. Accomplishments, we're on the Blackford County app. Click on there and go to addiction services maybe. We have a community care closet. That's anybody in the community can come up there and get clothes, shoes, anything they need. If we can get it, we can help them get it. We participate in community events. The jail has let us bring in Narcotics Anonymous, and we have NA meetings, one for the guys, one for the girls, one each week. We were able to bring in Nicky Gracious to do his testimony for the ladies and gentlemen, and we provide transportation to and from rehab to wherever they need to go. We have a past meeting every Thursday night at 5 p.m., and that's it's open to all individuals impacted by substance use disorder. See, when I get nervous, I just should read.
Yeah.
I don't. Resource navigation, that's just getting resources to the people that come up there. Yep.
What-
When we
what-
get to the money
oh, yeah.
part, I'm gonna
Oh,
just
yeah.
let Kimber do her
I'm just
thing.
curious, how many people are currently in the program? Like,
How many currently in the?
Currently,
Yeah.
54.
54, okay.
54
Is that about what
individuals.
the average is?
Yeah, the most I've ever seen currently active is 63,
Okay,
and the least I've ever seen is 47
yeah, okay.
at one time.
So as the jail populations fluctuate, their involvement fluctuates.
Yeah.
And when they're released, they still stay involved with that reentry peer, and then they get handed off to that community peer then to work with them long-term in the community. So that's kind of where that comes from.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
very good.
Yeah. So you'll also see the budget, and this is the budget that is set forth from Indiana Forensics, who is our state sponsor, and they provide us what our budget will be, how much money they'll be giving us. Now, we started as a pilot site. Our organization was 2 of 5 pilot sites. So we had one here in Blackford County and another one in Delaware County. So we had the largest and the smallest. And we were also the only ones that were in the northern part of the state of Indiana. So from that pilot program, they took all the data and looked at all the success that had happened and the fidelity and the different things that we had to do to accomplish this. Now they're saying that because we've been a pilot and we've been able to show this success, the state wants local community buy-in. Because ultimately, the goal is that the local community is on board and wanting this program here because it's making a difference, lowering their jail population. So hopefully in the future, lowering their expenses there. Their request for the match is, or the community buy-in is 30% of the contract. And as you see, that local funding is $107,236.20. And as of right now, we have $50,000 from the Hartford City Council, and then we have up to $57,236.20 from the county commissioners, and they asked us to come and speak with you, and you stepped up and said, hey, come to our meeting and let's see what we can do. This program strongly aligns with the opioid remediation uses under the restricted. We tick like 12 of the boxes on the statute that they've set forth for those opioid dollars. So.
Any questions?
I have a letter here too from Sheriff Pitt.
We currently have $25,000 in a opioid restricted fund, which is, we got that through lawsuits with opioid drug manufacturers, and the state sued several opioid, and they distributed funds to all the local entities, and we got, I think we had a little more than that, but we got 25,000 in restricted right now, and so we do have some money available to give to this program if so. Would anybody be interested in giving 10? Would that be a good starting point, or? You get some
Or
thoughts? Oh, pardon?
Half,
So
12.5.
12.5. Why don't we start at 10, because I know they're coming back next year. So, and I don't, honestly, I don't know of any, there might be some other people coming for that too, so I'm not sure. I'm not positive, but I guess I'd like to.
Can we like table it till the next meeting, till we can talk with Margaret about,
We could if you want to.
yeah.
Funds and what
the
they can be
account
used for.
financing
When do you
on
need to
that-
know this
on
by?
those.
Is there a certain date or deadline or?
September 1st.
Oh, September 1st.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will tell you that the opioid dollars that each jurisdiction gets is on Next Level Recovery on the state website. So you can actually go on and like, here's the Blackford County totals for the whole 18 years. And then it goes from restricted and then unrestricted, and then it gives you your total for each year. So by the end of 2025, you guys will have $30,198.
Okay.
So right now, your 2025 funds have not dropped.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you guys can always go on and look at that too, so you know what's restricted, what's unrestricted, what the attorneys are getting,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, now I can answer them, or you can email me. My email's on the back of that presentation. I can answer pretty much any questions you guys have. If I can't, Kimber can.
Well, I guess we probably should vote on something.
It's up to you guys. I just, it's whatever.
I'm all right. I'll make a motion to do the 10,000.
Okay, Gary motions, Michael
Second.
seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's just keep quiet.
Gotta be careful with this.
Yeah, I know. We're getting bombarded with papers this morning today. So, okay, and Deb Greider? Okay, all right. Hi, Deb.
Good evening. My name is Deb Greider, and first I'm going to apologize for sending all of you guys that email because it's been brought to my attention that it should have been addressed just to the mayor, Brad Neff. So I have had a phone conversation with Brad, and this is over your appointment for the BZA. So I already have had a conversation with Brad over the phone at the beginning of the week. We had a short one again today, and so we have a resolution to that with Mr. Smith staying on the board. So we have come to a resolution with that, and I have spoke to Mr. Smith, and I'm very thankful for, one, his professionalism and also his grace. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Great, all right, thank you. I did check with our attorney. I forwarded all the materials that we received by email and just asked for his opinion, and he recommended that we keep Mr. Smith as well on the board. Carla Tribble, and you have some paperwork that I had given everybody. That's it, yes, attachment one.
Attachment
Says
one.
attachment one, she had given, so.
Hello, my name's Carla Tribble, and my husband and I live on 600 East, just south of 400 North. And the reason I asked to speak to you today involves the wind projects that we've got going on in the county. We've got 2 approved ones, which would be 130 plus turbines, I'm not exactly sure. One more is on the agenda for next week with even more turbines. And there's a 4th wind project that has some signed leases for it. Grand total, coming off of the FAA site, and honestly, not all of them are on there at the moment, was 240 plus wind turbines in tiny Blackford County. Most of these are going to be 700 feet tall, and the reason is we don't have the wind, so they have to put them up there to get as much wind as possible. So these are not even the small ones you see in a lot of the other counties. That's 2.44 turbines per square mile of non-solar farm ground. That's average. And right now there's people in the southern part of the county that have 11 turbines within a mile of their homes. So this is very significant. The current ordinance reads setbacks 1,000 feet from your home. Recently, the APC they were working on a new ordinance. They voted to approve the new ordinance as amended. The setbacks to roads were 750 feet or 1.1 times the tower height, which would probably be 770 for the height of the tower. And I don't know the setbacks to property and homes. However, I do know it's not enough because Mr. Lancaster said it's not 1640. And the reason I'm home is 1640, I will show you, and it's in your packet as well. So therefore, I do not believe that even the updated ordinance is enough. I do believe it is going to jeopardize the health, safety, and well-being of the citizens of Blackford County. So Vestas is one of the leading wind turbine manufacturers, and that is one of the ones we're probably going to have here. Their own personnel, and this is in the paperwork I gave you, their own personnel are instructed to stay away from the turbine by 400 meters, which is 1,312 feet, unless necessary. So taken in context, this distance would apply to normal operating conditions. Our homes right now with the current ordinance are 1,000 feet, but their employees shouldn't even be within 1,300 under normal operating conditions. Under abnormal operating conditions, they expand the distance to consider the safety of their employees. For example, a runaway turbine, which can in fact happen, no one is allowed within 1,640 feet. There we go. There's the number I'm after, which is 500 meters, and that is the radius around the turbine. For a fire, you've got a very dangerous situation there. I'm concerned with our fire departments in the county handling any of this. In case of a fire, nobody is permitted within a radius of 500 meters from the turbine. So each of those, I've got those references for you so you can actually see that. I did not make that number up. It is a real number. When you search on Google or anywhere, this next page here is the model that Prairie Creek Wind is planning to use. It's the Vestas V150 4.5 megawatt turbine, and it does in fact say evacuate and restrict access to a surrounding area with a minimum radius of 500 meters, 1,640 feet. So that's the minimum that we are talking about. The next page has the diagram on it with the circles. So that explains what we call trespass zoning, and here's where you can have legal issues as well, but to me the biggest concern is safety. They've got that house there at 1,000 feet from the turbine, but when you look at the circle with the 1,640 foot radius, that home is within that circle as well as part of the property of the non-participating owner. So that is a huge problem. Those circles need to be moved completely out of non-participating parcels. There should be no reason whatsoever for anybody else's home to be within that radius. Oops. And then the next page, I've got the data for you. Blade failures, you can search all of this online. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. That's why I gave this to you. Blade failures, 0.56% a year that we know of. And there's a lot of them that never even end up on the news and reported. So if we look at a total of 240 turbines in our county, they each have 3 blades. That's 720 blades, 4 blade failures per year. These blades can actually be thrown a very long distance, well over 1,500 feet. Ice can as well. And the physics goes with all of that. That over 30 years would be 120 blade failures in Blackford County. Where are those blades going to go? Are they going to be on somebody's house? It is extremely possible that they're going to end up on somebody else's property, and we definitely don't want them on a house or hitting a child or any of that situation. The other thing, I do not know if it's in the ordinance, the new one, but most counties have a setback specified for churches and schools, and it matches the municipality setbacks. And if that's not in there, that definitely needs to be in there as well. So it should be up to the public to have the voice in the ordinance, not companies that come in from out of state to take advantage of our 1,000 feet ordinance. That's why they're here. We have the weakest ordinance probably in the whole state, and that's my concern. So the way I look at this is our lives are no less important than the employees of any of these companies. They've got all of that information in there for their own safety, but they want our houses within that zone. There's a problem. There's a big problem with that. You're going to hear that Vestas never intended for that 1640 to be a setback in an ordinance, but they still can't justify why they have 1640 for their own people. And you're going to hear, oh, but these projects are going to bring money to our community. You cannot justify money when you put the citizens of Blackford County in harm's way. There's no money that's ever going to make up for a serious accident.
And as I said, we have a 5-minute limit, so you got it.
I got it. That ordinance is going to, I don't know when, is going to come to you.
Yes, the new ordinance.
Yeah, and you get a chance to look over it and make suggestions on it, and I'm going to stand strong with this number, and I really encourage you guys to do your homework and look at that for us, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
What, do you know what the new ordinance is calling for setback?
I don't.
You don't, okay.
All I know
So-
is it's not, it's what?
50 from the property line.
Yeah,
12 feet
it's
from
12
the
feet from the property line, and churches and schools are the same setbacks as municipalities.
They are in there?
In the new ordinance,
Okay, so-
yes.
That's, the church and school is great, but
Yep.
the 1640, we have to have the 1640, because you're still going to end up with the same circle. You're going to end up with circles just like this on somebody's property. It's got to be the 1640 minimum. And there's places in California, guess what? They're 3 and 4 times our ordinance. This is California we're talking about. Most European countries are way beyond that. We're talking like a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and we have 1,000 feet. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and Warren, would you like to talk as well? Like, if you want to address that, and I know you have some other things we talked about too, so we're not just wind and solar, but, all right.
Hi, Warren Brown, Economic Development. I can't address any of the things that she brought up as far as her data. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I've not seen the new proposed ordinance.
okay.
If you have questions about the actual projects that I actually have firsthand knowledge about, or the current ordinances, I sent a copy of that to you.
Okay.
We can address them.
How many, is that an accurate wind turbine? No.
I don't know that they know for sure exactly how many on the 2 that are permitted right now. They're still in the engineering phase.
Okay.
And the reason they wouldn't know is because if one of the turbines creates more power than an older model, they go with a newer one. So there still might be some. She's probably pretty accurate on some of the data that's been out, but I don't know the exact count yet.
Okay.
Just an estimate. I can send to you what I do know.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any of that with me to share with you because I wasn't going to talk about that.
Can I bring up something real quick too?
Absolutely.
Because the 2 projects that are already approved, the 2 wind projects, they actually fall under the old ordinance. So even if we change the ordinance, it's not going to, they go by the old ordinance. They're grandfathered in under the old ordinance of the 1,000 feet setback,
That's correct.
so.
Okay. Did you have any other comments on anything? Okay,
No.
all right. And then I guess we talked about solar panels and battery storage. Is that?
So there's 2 solar projects that have been permitted, one from Leeward and the other one with EDF. So if you guys have specific questions on that, I haven't seen any of the engineering on them yet, and I've asked them for that.
Okay.
So show me exactly where the panels go. When I get that, I can share that with you guys.
Yeah. And there's no
And-
battery usage, is correct? Is that?
There is none of the 4 companies that we've talked to have requested or are planning, according to what they've told me personally, to do any battery.
Okay.
My recommendation to the county was to make sure that we have a ordinance for battery storage. The battery storage that is being built right now, they don't just use that particular type of battery package, and it's not just packaged big, like a half a container size. But they're using them in hospitals and other things to replace gas, diesel type of backup generators.
but it has to pass the zoning board before it gets.
I would recommend the county does have an ordinance before you do them.
Yeah.
I also recommend that the county puts a ordinance together for data centers.
Okay, yeah.
I think having the ordinances that you did have for wind and solar at least allowed some good dialogue to be had, whether we all agree with some of the specifics or not. I mean, that's why you have the process of being able to review things. And if you guys actually wanted to have one of the companies up here, I could contact them for you and ask them to come up and have them on your agenda to discuss with.
We don't have anything to say until the new ordinance comes out, and I guess we will all vote on that. Hartford City, Shamrock Lakes, and Montpelier all have to approve if
All of
the
them have to
ordinance goes
approve it.
forward. And that passed, is that correct, or that?
The new ordinance came out of the Area Planning Commission with a favorable recommendation, so now it will go to the entities. I don't know when that will be. I know the lawyer had to finish up some of the amendments that we made
Okay.
in the ordinance,
So,
and
but that-
I think he got that back to us, but
Okay.
there's a few other, I think there was a couple of things that he missed, so it'll probably be on next month's agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, September for Hartford City, I would think, September for you guys.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll get it ready in time enough to get it down to Shamrock or not.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask that Ann gets it to us well ahead of time, because just the committee to put this together, probably just for the wind side, was probably 16 or 18 hours. And I don't want her to bring it in here 10 minutes before our meeting and say,
Right.
pass this,
Yep,
so.
yep, yep. Okay, good. All right, very good. Very good.
Broadband?
Did you want to, did you want to say something? Okay, go, sure. What's your question?
I've got a question for Mr. Brown.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, basically you're saying these companies are saying no battery storage.
Right.
May 5th, I brought up at the commissioner meeting, it's in their contracts, all the farmers have signed, battery storage. In our present ordinance, our old ordinance, there is no ordinance against battery storage. Since it's in their contracts, what if they go ahead and put battery storage, all that?
So what
Features
he's,
are there.
what he's talking about is each landowner gets to negotiate personally with the different entities that they're doing business with. In those contracts, they have a list of all the different possibilities they may build, and battery storage is in there. The county doesn't see any of them. We're not responsible for that particular. Each individual negotiates each individual with the company that they're working with. In what the county has done, and what our conversations have been with the companies, is right now there's no battery storage.
Okay.
We've told them we don't want to see them or do anything with them until we have an ordinance in place.
Yeah.
All four of them have told us, the commissioners, myself, they don't plan on doing any of that. And I would say, right now,
Yeah.
because we don't know what tomorrow might bring.
Right.
But what he's speaking about is right with the individuals, but the county doesn't have any part in that.
Well, we
None of
have
our
to-
documentation has permission to do battery storage.
So they have to have permission before they could put that in.
Well, if they don't have the county leadership's support, they're not going to get that through a special exception at the BZA.
Okay.
I mean, the county's got to be able to have some support for something. So I think there's a lot of things in play in the mechanics of passing things like this. I don't think it would flow. Plus, I can see absolutely no motivation for them to lie to the commissioners about something this big. At least, I just don't see it coming right now.
Do you have any comments or?
And we'll say in the new ordinance that we approved the other night, it will not allow battery storage.
Okay.
Under our old ordinance, it's still in there, so,
There was no, it's never mentioned in the old one.
yeah.
So,
All right, very good. Did anything else here?
well, broadband, we
Yes.
did put out an RFP for the broadband towers.
Okay.
We had one bidder. We thought we were going to get more. We talked to more companies. We had one bidder.
Okay.
We'll score that. Dan Borgenheimer and myself's been tasked to score that by the commissioners. I hope to have that to them at their next meeting.
Okay.
And what that would do is finish off the preparation for these towers so that we could actually start putting service on them.
Good.
And get some of the people that are without decent service. I think you're done, correct?
Yeah, I think we are.
We've got 3 companies now that have asked to put fiber in Hartford City. I think we need to narrow that down to 1. I'm
Yeah.
going to try to meet with the mayor soon on that.
Yeah.
We have talked about them, so 5 years ago, we didn't think we stood a chance to get any fiber in because of the way the state had Blackford County listed as a totally served county.
Yeah.
I congratulate the mayor
Yeah.
for working so hard with me to get that changed by the data. The state had to say you guys are either underserved or not served at all in a good portion of the county. That opened us up for some
Grants, yeah.
grant opportunities that companies can apply for. The funny thing about it is, the company that was the most egregious at saying they were serving the county and weren't, they're the one that actually got the money once we were qualified for
Yeah,
it. So
yeah, that's,
as long as they provide good service to the community, I guess we don't care.
yeah, that was.
That's been a long project running, so it looks like we may be seeing the end of it in the near future.
Yeah, that was a big fight, though. We had to, because they didn't take our word for it. They took the word for it from the companies that they served Montpelier, but we had to prove that we weren't served, and so that was a frustrating
And
thing.
you remember all the times I was asking you guys to do the speed test? That's
yeah.
what finally pulled the trick for this,
Yeah.
for Blackford County.
Yeah, so anyways, it was a frustrating thing, but that finally got it done, so.
So if you got questions about anything else that you're hearing about, if
Yeah,
not,
and then tomorrow we're going off to see, I might talk to a manufacturer potentially about, this is.
Right,
I guess,
for housing.
redevelopment. Yeah, maybe some housing, so potentially, hopefully, maybe get a community housing developer interested in building homes in Montpelier, so. So I appreciate Warren, I appreciate all he does. He really is a big support for our community, and so I say thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Warren.
Okay, and Jessica Tauber, Purdue Extension.
Hello, I'm Jessica Tabor, and I work with Purdue Extension. I've been hired by the County Council to help bring the Main Street program to Montpelier. And for those that are not familiar with that program, it helps revitalize downtown and focuses on the historical value that you guys have. So here's a few of my cards if you guys want to email me to talk more about it. I am looking for volunteers and board members.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, all right. And then, yes, we have, next on the agenda is actually a quote. I got 2 quotes for fencing to go around our park at the basketball courts, to fence in our pickleball courts, and also give me new fencing on the east and north side. The south side would remain the same. The one quote was from NBBJ Fence Company, and their quote was $35,396. And then Indiana Fence and Rail quoted us $21,954. But this would fence in our pickleball courts, give us some gates where people can come and go out of them, and also replace the fencing on the east and on the north side, which is sometimes, especially on the north side, the ball bounces over that fence anyways, if we ever played there, so it's like we're in that yard a lot of times, but
Are they gonna go higher with the fence?
it's 10 feet, yeah, so the current fence is 6 feet, that's there, and this is a 10-foot fence. So I'd like if we have any discussion on that, or I'd like a motion to go ahead and go forward and do that.
Is that coming out of the, what fund is that coming out of?
It's actually coming out of the redevelopment, and Margaret suggested we do it, we address this in city council, and since it's a park issue as well, so I'm actually gonna bring this up again in the redevelopment, because that's where the funds will come from, the TIF funds.
Does that quote say on there that, are they concreting those posts in, or are they driving them in?
It doesn't say, it does say concrete, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done work with Indiana Fence before. They've always done a good job. Someone else had recommended this other company, and I thought I'd give them a shot, but haven't done any work with the more expensive vendor.
Well, I'll just make a motion that we push this to the redevelopment to be voted on.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
the easiest way to go about it.
Right, we're gonna have to vote on
So-
again for the money on that side, so Margaret suggested we bring this up since it is a park issue.
There you
So, yeah, I don't think we really need a vote at this point,
So
so.
it's coming out of redevelopment.
Yeah.
You guys can vote on it.
We have a general obligation bond coming, our obligation got paid off will get paid off this year, and we are applying for a new bond. It's a $400,000 bond. I think you have a copy of that. Basically allowed to be used for just wherever we come up short in. That's, got a copy of that. Our Jim Higgins, our financial consultant, recommended we do this.
So do you need a motion to approve the obligation bond?
Yes, I do.
I'll make a motion to approve general obligation bond for 2026.
Okay, John motions, Travis second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And next up, Mr. David Kieverser, our engineer and grant writer.
Okay, you guys have the Title VI implementation plan in front of you for the city of Montpelier. And I'll just read you. NDOT is recipient of federal funds and has stewardship and oversight agreement with Federal Highway Administration, which means that if locals receive any funding from NDOT, state or federal, whether through a contract to perform work or provide professional services as part of a grant or award for community NDOT, for your community, NDOT is required to ensure locals follow the Title VI and American with Disabilities Act non-discrimination and accessibility requirements. So you have before you an ordinance that states on the introduction, this is a Title VI implementation plan as part of the City of Montpelier's continuing and ongoing effort to proactively meet and exceed the minimum compliance requirements established under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related anti-discrimination statutes and regulations. With this implementation plan, Montpelier seeks to provide continued transparency, clarity, and technical guidance for internal, external constituents regarding its Title VI program. So whether we receive federal highway dollars through the Surface Transportation Program or CCMG, Community Crossing Matching Grant Programs through NDOT, we must have on an annual basis an updated Title VI implementation plan. So there it is for your convenience. And I have to have it submitted by October 1st.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Any questions on that, or? No, okay, all right. Do you have a motion to approve for Title VI?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Title VI.
All right, Travis motions.
I'll second.
John second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Keyser's gonna stick around and give us an update on our medical facility at the next meeting, so. Okay, and I guess here we talked about neutering cats. That is it. Do we have anybody else, anything else we need to talk about? Okay, next meeting is September 8th at 6 p.m. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, John, motion, Travis second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.